Hello again and welcome to Cincinnati People. Today we're talking with Jerry Skinner from Romanian Handicapped Ministries to tell us a little bit more about that organization and a fundraiser as well. Jerry, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Let's start with the basics. Tell us about your organization and how you got started.
We are celebrating our 25th anniversary this summer. In 1997, I made a trip to Sweden on behalf of another ministry here in Cincinnati, out of College Hill Presbyterian Church. I'm an attorney, but I don't play golf and I don't own a BMW, so I work with kids on the side. Anyway, I was in Romania, and Romania is a favorite place I was in Sweden. Sweden is a favorite place for Romanian expatriates to flee to, at least during the communist years. And of course, at that time, we had just come out of that. I met a man there who was traveling back and forth to his home city, Constanța, on the Black Sea coast in Romania, to work with the large numbers of handicapped children and young adults in that population. And he described it to me in the course of what I was doing, and that was during the time period when we were all fascinated with the Romanian athletes that showed up at the Olympics, and it seemed like a wonderful idea to go see what was going on. And since I travel a lot for work, I was able to do that. What I saw on my first trip would shock most Americans back at that time. And so I came home, we organized, and we got a group of teenagers together, formed our own company in both countries, and looked for staff and hired permanent staff over there to begin a daily program. And then from then we acquired some property, opened a modest center, enlarged that somewhat later, and now 25 years later we have a community of people over there that help each other, that we work with, and we're celebrating all that this week.
Anyone who's been involved with a nonprofit knows the difficulty of, there's just so many elements and so many layers to it. Adding to that, the fact that this is half a world away, what are some of the obstacles that you guys have had to overcome?
Well, one of the biggest obstacles is we're here, all of us are professional people or work here in the United States, have families here in the United States, and Romania is a peculiar jurisdiction to be in. You need Romanians to work with Romanians. And finding Romanians who are optimistic, forward-looking, prepared to work hard, and to do all those things that they have to do with a people that basically have been forgotten by their government and their society is very difficult. And then managing that group of people from half a world away. Starting up, getting staff in place, getting staff to learn what they need to do, and then having them actually do it, that is an obstacle we have never overcome. We continue to do that as we go on.
Give us a sense of the scope of your organization, number of people you have working for you, the number of people you've helped over the years.
Well, the first one's easy. We have a board here of 11 people. We have 6 employees in Romania, 3 full-time professionals, a social worker, a counselor, a doctor, a medical doctor. We have a legally educated administrator, and we have a group of volunteers, and some of the parents, after a number of years, begin to get involved and volunteer. And so we basically have 6 employees on the ground. We have a small facility, and we have 2 vans, so that if need be, we can go out and get them and bring them in. We're just recovering from the pandemic. Romania truly did lock down, and you couldn't come and meet in our center. So we would meet with our families in parks when the weather permitted, and our staff would go out and do that. Staff would continue from afar to meet the needs they could, but now we are back to, we bring in about half of our people several days a week, the other half several days a week, and if we're fortunate, one day a week we can get everybody together. So that's how it's kind of washed out to the present time period. We have not a large footprint, but there's about 150 people that we serve, and we do that with 6. So that gets dicey from time to time. But we also have a lot of volunteers over here, and we do what work we can stateside. We also make frequent trips. I go about 3 times a year. We take a staff over. We have been taking a staff over until the pandemic of maybe 8 or 10 every summer, and then we put on a large 10-day long summer camp to get the kids and the young adults that we serve out of the city and do what would best be described as a giant week-long party with a lot of music, a lot of physical exercise, a lot of crafts and stuff like that, a lot of hugging. None of us are special needs professionals. We just all like people. That's what you have to do in order to work with this group.
You're working with 150 now. Any idea how many over these 25 years that you've helped along the way?
We started out with about 11, which another individual and I went over at Thanksgiving, and we were told if we looked in the communist apartment buildings, which fill whole city blocks and are mountainous and are huge and have no services, no lights, and only stairways. If we started at the top of one of those and went down, we would find children with handicaps that need help. We did that. We did that for 4 days, at which point we were ready to throw our hands up in despair because of what we found behind those doors. People were very ready to participate, though. And so we started out with a group of maybe about a dozen, and it's grown from there. And now we not only include the handicapped individual, but we include their parents and their families. Because in Romania, you have a handicap and it sucks your whole family into another class of people that will not be taken care of, will not be provided for, and which the government would rather have them just go away. And that's kind of the background that we work in. We've taken over 300 individuals from Cincinnati, from the Milford and Anderson area, to Romania to work with us in summer camps. We used to take groups as large as a couple dozen at a time, but we discovered that a couple dozen gets in the way and makes for security problems with teenagers who want to investigate a foreign country. And so now we take a pretty good split of adults and a few teens to do the high energy things.
Let's talk about the fundraiser and when and where it is and how we can help.
We have one major fundraiser a year. We do some other things, and we have a group of about 20 or 25 people that support us on a monthly basis, not counting the board members and the people connected with the ministry who also support it. We run a budget of about $10,000 a month. That provides for the day center, provides for the materials, provides for the needs of the kids, the vehicles, and the salaries, because in Romania, it's not expensive compared to the United States to hire those professionals, but finding them is difficult and keeping them working can be difficult. So we have that one major fundraiser. Last year we had, similar to this year, we had a dinner. We had a guest speaker. He was the first Down syndrome individual to complete the Ironman triathlon. Wow. And he was hilarious. Down's kids are really great. And he did a great job. This year we have Jennifer Bricker coming. The event is this Friday night on the 19th of May. We will be at the Transept, which is one of Funky's event centers down next to the music hall. We're expecting a crowd of a little over 100 people, and they know who we are. There's nobody coming who doesn't, and they provide for us really well. So we're looking forward to it because Jennifer Bricker is a story that all the media in this town should be covering. The fact that she's coming to Cincinnati is a remarkable opportunity, and I've met with her, and she's an extraordinary person, and I think it'll be a great event.
So for those folks who may not be able to attend, how else can we help your organization?
Well, we are online at Romanian Handicapped, all in lowercase, no period in the middle, RomanianHandicapped.com. And you can find us and you can make donations through there. You can mail in, or you can call Jerry Skinner or one of the people that operates. You'll find our names and phone numbers on the website, and you can make donations. We don't really high pressure people because we've discovered that Romania is not someplace that is on people's minds. Americans don't and would not gravitate to it if they knew a whole lot. So we kind of have to make it a personal. This is what we're doing. This is for who we're doing. These are the least of these in Romania. And we're trying to help because we feel that God sent us there, and we could be doing the same thing here. But if we weren't in Romania, nobody would be doing it there. So it's a pretty singular ministry. People tend to be willing to help with that, and then once they go, most of our supporters are people that have gone and they've seen and they've experienced and they understand. So
wonderful. Jerry, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and best of luck with that fundraiser.